People always say love is complicated. I wish I'd realized that sooner, before getting tangled in this ridiculous romance. It all started when my best friend, Kevin, asked me to write love letters for him to impress his crush, Chloe. See, I'm pretty good at writing, and I knew if I got caught, it would be a huge mess. My classmates sometimes paid me to do their homework, especially essays. So when Kevin asked me to help him win over Chloe, a girl he met in the school's drama club, of course, I said yes. And no, I didn't charge him. He's my best friend who does that. However, I did have my own agenda. I'd secretly had a crush on my neighbor, Olivia, since she moved in when we were kids, but I'd never been brave enough to tell her. Oh, and there was one small problem. Olivia had a huge crush on Kevin. That's why I was so eager to help Kevin woo Chloe. If Olivia saw Kevin was no longer available, maybe she'd start noticing me, and then we'd become a couple. So, I agreed to help Kevin. When I wrote the first letter, I was only thinking of Olivia, and the words just flowed. Her hair shimmered in the sun, and she had the cutest freckles. Luckily, Chloe had freckles too. I wasn't sure if Chloe liked it, but the next day Kevin found a reply in his locker. And so, it continued. Every day I wrote a letter for Kevin, and it was clear that Chloe was falling for the person she thought was Kevin. But then, one day, Kevin ran up to me, looking worried. He said Chloe wanted to go on an actual date. He was freaking out, saying there was no way he could pretend to be as smart and funny as he was in the letters. Then he told me Chloe even suggested they read poetry together, and I had to coach him so he wouldn't blow his cover. I would make this work. I had to. Otherwise, I'd never get Olivia. Right before Kevin and Chloe's date, Kevin came over, and I tried to make him practice reading some poems. He was terrible, but I couldn't bring myself to say it. I just hoped Chloe wouldn't notice. When Kevin left, he even made me promise to follow them on their first date, just in case something went wrong. I was about to leave when Olivia showed up and said her family was going to a restaurant that night to celebrate her little brother's birthday, and they wanted me to come along. Of course, I said yes. I was close with her brother too. Afterward, I quickly told Olivia I had to go, and she asked where. I immediately lied, saying I'd promised my mom I'd buy groceries for dinner. Then I quickly hopped in my car and drove to where Kevin was meeting Chloe. I told him I'd be nearby in case of an emergency. From my car, I could look into the restaurant and watch how the date was going. At first, everything seemed fine, but I was so engrossed watching them that I didn't even notice Olivia standing right next to my car. When she tapped on the window, my heart jumped, and I nearly sprang out of my seat. She asked what I was doing and where the groceries for my mom were. Suddenly, she glanced through the window to where Kevin and Chloe were sitting together. Oh no, she definitely figured something out. While I was still frozen, she turned back to me with wide, shocked eyes. "You're watching Kevin and Chloe's date?" she asked, then climbed into my car, bombarding me with panicked questions. What are they doing? Are they actually on a date? Why didn't I know anything about this? Oh my gosh, Chloe is my best friend. How could he? I was speechless, unsure what to say. She'd caught me red-handed. But then I asked her what she was doing there. She said she'd come to help set up for the birthday party tonight. Still upset. Anyway, with her in my car, my heart started to pound. Maybe this was my chance. Maybe I should tell her how I felt. As I turned to face her, I realized she was looking at my phone. I quickly snatched it, but it was too late. Kevin had just messaged me, and it was right there on the screen. "Help! Which poem was in the last letter you wrote?" She's about to find out. Olivia seemed to understand the whole story. She darted out of the car so fast I couldn't stop her. She ran towards the restaurant and went straight to Chloe. Kevin had just gone to the restroom, so he wasn't there. And when Olivia said something to Chloe, I saw Chloe start to cry. This was a complete disaster. And then the worst happened. Kevin came back, and Chloe started screaming at him. I quickly drove away. I couldn't stand to watch. It was all my fault. The next day, something crazy happened. I woke up and received a friend request from Chloe. I accepted the request, and she messaged me immediately, saying she had truly fallen for me, and she could never forget my poems. I felt incredibly guilty. How would she feel if she knew I'd been thinking of Olivia the entire time I was writing those letters? Nobody knew I liked Olivia, and I decided it was better to keep it a secret. Now Kevin wasn't talking to me, and Olivia was furious with me for helping Kevin. This was truly the worst situation ever. Even if Kevin was mad at me, I would never secretly date Chloe behind his back. In fact, he didn't know Chloe liked me. But then somehow, Kevin found out Chloe liked me. He called and said I not only ruined his chance, but also stole the person he loved. Great, so suddenly I was the bad guy, when all I wanted was to help a friend. Now both Olivia and Kevin aren't talking to me anymore. At the same time, Chloe keeps texting me and is always staring at me at school. I don't know what to do anymore. I've lost my best friend and my crush, and in return, I've gained a stalker.